Acting Commander Vivian Chase. Call sign, Sojourn.
Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and it's been 2 years. 2 years since we got our last origin story with Echo. But finally today, the Overwatch team released Sojourn's origin story, and it just sent chills down my body. We've known about Sojourn ever since 2019, ever since Overwatch 2 first got unveiled. But it's been so long since we got, well, first of all, any new content, but also a brand new hero. Like, I almost forgot how to, make an origin story video because it's been so long. I rushed home from Target once I saw that Sojourn's origin story got released, and I just wanted to make a video. I didn't know what I wanted to talk about, but I knew I just had to make something. And I guess first and foremost, we can talk about, okay, well, when is Sojourn gonna get released? Because as origin stories get released, usually there is some sort of in-game trailer and then the actual release of the hero, typically on the PTR. Well, of course, as we all have already known for a while now, Sojourn is gonna get released alongside the Overwatch 2 beta, which is gonna be in 2 weeks on April 26th. That's so weird to think that Overwatch 2's, at least multiplayer, is coming out in 2 weeks. And as we've also known for a while now, this is a PvP beta, so of course we're not gonna play any of the story missions that would have came with Overwatch 2, but also the campaign missions that would have involved Sojourn and her involvement in the Overwatch team. But even though we don't get to play any of her story missions, we at least know her involvement with Overwatch, because it did seem kind of random that a French Canadian is now getting introduced into the hero roster, even though it's a welcome addition because we don't have any Canadian heroes. But the reason why she's involved with the Overwatch team is because she was a part of the Canadian Special Forces, and she was recruited by Jack Morrison and the Overwatch team to fight alongside them during the Omnic Crisis. And that also makes me believe that there's going to be some sort of special connection between Sojourn and Farah. And I know that seems random because Farah is Egyptian, but there's actually lore involving Farah being stationed in Canada that actually comes from the Overwatch cookbook. One of her recipes is the Canadian butter tarts, where that was one of her favorite treats when she was stationed in Canada. So I'm sure there's gonna be some sort of lore tie-in with those two heroes as well. But other than that, the only other things that I can gather from the origin story, besides the amazing dialogue with the voice actor of Sojourn, are 3 skins that have yet to be seen in some sort of trailer or even gameplay. The first of which is what I'm titling her origin skin. It's the skin that she wore in the first iteration of Overwatch when they first fought in the Omnic Crisis. Here we can see some black locks rather than her white hair, but then the armor that she's rocking is more like a military grade suit rather than just a Canadian coat that we see her rocking in her classic skin. And then her gun, it looks like a typical assault rifle that is military issued as well, rather than like some sort of wonder weapon that we've come to know and love for the past couple of years when involving Sojourn and her railgun. I could definitely see that being some sort of reward skin that you can only get if you participate in the Overwatch 2 beta and it wouldn't come back. But then there's 2 other skins that aren't really all that memorable. The first of which is like this plain white skin where it doesn't have Sojourn in her French-Canadian jacket. But the second skin, which I think is actually really cool, is this all-black motorcycle skin. And you already know how I feel about all-black skins, bro. And she looks good, man. She looks really good in this motorcycle outfit. That's why I also think Farah and Sojourn will have some sort of connection, because Farah has a motorcycle skin. Like, I always wondered why Farah, out of all people, had her motorcycle skin. Well, maybe it's because Sojourn and Farah had a thing back in the Overwatch days, and they would go and wait, was she like 7 during the original Overwatch days? I think she was. So maybe there won't be any sort of connection, but I'd like to dream of lore, okay? But I just really hope we get to see some really dope legendary Sojourn skins. I mean, alongside an origin story, it's been years since we got a new hero legendary skin. But in terms of her origin story, that's about all the brand new information that we can gather. Everything else we've already known about beforehand. She's gonna be a DPS hero with some sort of railgun, and she's also gonna have ginormous thighs. That seems to be the concise agreement here in the Overwatch community, is that her thighs are bigger than my future. But I'm just also excited to see what other origin stories will come out with brand new heroes that come alongside the Overwatch 2 beta, which I'm still hopeful for, because Aaron Keller kind of hinted at the idea that there will be a couple of brand new heroes released with the beta, but it also just seems kind of weird that they wouldn't be talking about it up until 2 weeks before. I mean, we just barely got the Sojourn origin story, but if they really want to have a really cool beta, they would at the very very least release one tank and one support hero that we haven't seen before, at least throughout the duration of the beta. Yeah, that'll kind of mess up the Overwatch League teams and them having to practice a brand new hero, but usually when new heroes get released, which has been a very, very long time, they usually wait until after like a major tournament to introduce a brand new patch. So really, there's no excuse for there not to be any new heroes released with the beta other than just Sojourn, because it's been 2 years. Like, come on now, give us a feast, Blizzard. We've been patiently waiting for this moment. But that's about all that I have to say about the origin story. And I know a lot of people will get disappointed for whatever reason that we only get an origin story, but that's usually how new heroes work, is that they get unveiled with an origin story, even though we already knew about Sojourn, and then they get released. Well, that's exactly what's going to happen. So we just have to wait a couple of weeks for her to finally be playable. Unless you're a console player, then you're kind of SOL. And hopefully Sojourn won't be the only hero released alongside the beta, because if she is, well, the Overwatch community is gonna milk her and eat her up, bro. And not in like in a sexual way, I just mean because we're starving for content. But anyway, guys, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about the Sojourn origin story, and I will see you guys later. I love you guys, and bye.